Hey guys, Dave here. After searching YouTube for a video about how to put this air conditioner sleeve and unit through the wall and not finding much, I thought I'd put together a little slideshow of what I did. First thing I did was find what wall I wanted the unit to be on and make sure that it was clear on the outside as well. I found it here, marked the stud locations, and marked the rough opening size for the unit. Every unit's different, take a look at yours. I also made sure that that line was perfectly level. Then took my utility knife and cut out the opening. Removed the insulation as well so I can get a look. I know I'm going to have to cut this open much more where the header and the footer, but I wanted to get a feel for what that unit would look like right there. Now, knowing that I need a header and a footer, I checked my walls are 2x4. So I got a couple of 2x6s and a 1/2-inch piece of plywood here so I can build up a header. The header is two 2x6s with that 1/2-inch material in between it, so I can make it the right size. I then screw it together from both sides, making sure it's a very strong header. Then back upstairs to take a look at that opening. I also know I'm going to have to cut an opening for the footer, but before I did that, I drilled through the house, so on the outside siding, so I could see the rough opening on the outside as well. These are just kind of rough guide holes that I'll be able to cut later. Now I extended my lines up of my rough opening the size of that header right there, so I knew where the header would go, and went back down to the shop to make the footer. Footer's just 2x4s, again with that 1/2-inch piece between it, and I marked down below, you can see on the line right there, for where the header was going to be. And then I cut out that center stud. Remove that center stud and start putting things together. Screw the header in place over to the side studs, making sure it was level before I fully screwed it together. Now, looking at where that footer's going to go, I'm going to start to cut out the sheetrock below so I can get the cripple studs all the way down to the sill plate. Remove the insulation, put in the cripple studs, one on both sides. Now that header's going to be solidly held in place. And now I'm going to put the footer in there, making sure that rough opening is the right size, and then put the cripple studs in off for the footer as well. Now I'm going to check to make sure that this is the right rough opening. Yep, looks good. Box fix rate. Now I'm cutting through the wall, out into the siding. Beautiful day outside today, thankfully. Here's what it looks like on the outside. Did a pretty good job with my reciprocating saw to cut open that spot, but I want it to be perfect. So I got my belt sander to sand it to be the right rough opening all the way around. Put the box in, make sure it's level, and make sure it's sticking into the house the right amount. 1 inch is minimum, and I wanted the minimum, so I put it at the minimum of 1 inch and then screwed it in. Be sure when you screw it in, you only put holes in the side. Don't screw through the bottom plate. That'll just cause a problem if there's any leakage or drainage from condensation. Looks like that box is in there pretty good. I'm going to check the fit for the AC unit. Yep, and put in the foam padding around it to make sure it seals up nice. I'm going to be taking all this out again later, but just wanted to see what it's like. Now I've got that header I'm going to have to fix up later, but right now let's go outside and take a look at the outside of the unit. Sticking through the outside, just the right amount, good place for it for me. I better caulk it up to make sure there is no leaking. Do all the different sides with a good quality outdoor caulking. Make sure you get a good seal. Now back inside, see if this unit works. Plugs in, looks good. I'm starting to put the sheetrock around it now too to make sure it looks nice. I've decided I want to move the electrical up closer to the unit. If you want to do something like this, get an electrician to help you if you don't know electrical. I put the outlet right up by the unit so it can plug right in there. Now the sheetrocking and the mudding. Hard with all the butt joints, but do your best. And now it works, it's plugged in, and the room's back together. And we're a little bit cooler this summer. Thanks for watching.